So Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad IZHAM and I will be the first presenter to present about Chapter 35, Other Assurance Services. Okay, so first of all, in this topic you will learn 8 subtopics. So I will explain for the first one. So in this learning objective 1, you will understand the level of assurance and evidence requirements for review and compilation services. Okay, so for the next one is review and compilation service. What actually the format of the financial statement, standard of compilation and review financial statement, called by SSARS, return statement, and standard of accounting and review services. This has been conducted by the AICPA member of committee review, so they have the power and authority to conduct and involved in the standard of statement financial. The relationship between the accumulation and level of assurance. Okay, so from the graph you can see that the graph is linear equivalent, which means when the level of assurance audit is increased, the amount of evidence accumulated also increase. So for the review and services, it's designed to allow the accountant to access limited assurance that the financial statement in accordance with improve of accounting standard. So we go to the procedure suggested for review. There are 6 steps and I will explain one by one. Okay, so first of all is obtain industry knowledge, know the client, make inquiry with the management, perform analytical procedure, obtain a presentation letter, and prepare a documentation. So basically, obtain industry knowledge, you have to know what actually, and you can study by AICPA industry. And next for the know the client, so actually you have to know the client that what are you auditing. So you have to know the background of the company. Okay, then you have to make inquiry with the management. What actually do you need from the company, evidence or document that you need them to prepare for. At the 7th slide, I will show you the example of form of review report. So you can see this is the form of review report that I take from the textbook. So next one is the compilation service. Okay, so compilation service can be defined as one of which statement present to a client or third party financial statement that the accountant has prepared for. Okay, so basically the CPA firm does not express any assurance on the statement. There are 3 forms of compilation report, which is the first one is full disclosure, no disclosure, and the last one is compilation without independence. Okay, so what means by full disclosure and no disclosure and compilation without independence? Okay, so full disclosure is mean that the financial statement are fairly stated and there's no any problem with the report. So for the no disclosure, that the financial statement are actually fairly stated that maybe there is something misstatement that we made by the accounting of the company. And last one is compilation without independence. Okay, so I will show you 2 forms of report that is without disclosure and full disclosure. Okay, so for the first one, you can see the form of report that full disclosure, and the second one is form of report that without disclosure. Okay, so this one I take from textbook. So basically, you can see on the chapter 25 on other assurance services. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. I'll pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum. Presenting about the learning objective 2 for chapter 25. So the question is discuss special engagement to review interim financial information for public companies. So for the review of the interim financial information for public companies is the SC required to quarterly financial statement to review by the company's internal auditors. But review service, a public company interim review include the 5 requirements for required service engagements. A review for a public company does not provide a basis expressions, positive form opinions. The review is conducted according to the International Standard on Review Engagement, ISRE 2410. That's all for that question. Thank you.
Very good. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ikram AIMAN bin Abdul Karim, and I will continue the presentation of Learning Objective 3. It explains to distinguish EICPA attestation standards from auditing standards and know the type of engagement to which they apply. The first one is attestation engagement. The EICPA has issued 11 attestation standards that parallel the 10 generally accepted auditing standards to provide additional guidance for doing attestation engagement. The Auditing Standard Board of the ICPA issued statement on Standard of Attestation Engagement (SSAE) in General Auditing Standard to apply attestation that deal with providing assurance on historical financial statement, including one or more part of those statements. The SB decided not to attempt to define the potential boundaries of attestation engagements, except in conceptual terms because new services are likely to arise. Three levels of services, which are examinations, reviews, and agreed upon procedure. Let's move to second. One is the type of engagement and related reports. An examination result in a positive conclusion. A review provided a negative assurance conclusion that nothing came to the CPA's attention, that the assertions are not presented in all material respect in conformity with the applicable criteria. In all agreed upon procedure engagement, all procedure the CPA will perform are agreed upon by the CPA, the responsible party making the assertion, and the specific person who are the intended user of the report. I think that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Learning Objective 4. Understand the nature of Web Trust and Systrust Assurance Service. Web Trust Service. In a Web Trust attestation engagement, a client engaged the CPA to provide reasonable assurance that a company's website complies with certain trust services, principles and criteria for one or more aspects of e-commerce activities. So this is the 5 trust services principles. The first one is security, ensuring that the system is protected against unauthorized access, both physical and logical. The second one is availability, which is ensuring that the system is available for operation and use as committed or agreed. The third one is processing integrity, ensuring that system processing is complete, accurate, timely and authorized. The fourth one is online privacy, ensuring that personal information obtained as a result of e-commerce is collected, used, disclosed and retained as committed or agreed. And the last one is confidentially, which is the ensuring the information designated as confidential is protected as committed and agreed. And the Systrust services. In the Systrust engagement, the Systrust license CPA evaluates a company's computer system using trust services, principle and criteria. The service provides assurance to management, directors or third parties about the reliability of information system used to generate real-time information. That's all for the learning objective 1.
Okay, hi. My name is FAKHRUL bin HARDI, and I will explain the point of number 5. Alright, and the point is internal control reports at service organizations. Okay, for the learning objective of this point is to describe engagement to report on internal control at service organizations. Okay guys, you all need to know that the section address in examination engagement undertaken by a service auditor to report on controls at organizations that provide services to user entities when those controls are likely to be relevant to user entities' internal control over financial reporting. The focus of this section is on controls at service organizations likely to be relevant to user entities' internal control over financial reporting. Okay, based on international standards on assurance engagement, ASAE 3402, there are two types of report. First, report on management description of a service organization system and the suitability of the design of control. Second, report on management description of a service organization system and the suitability of the design and operating effectiveness of control. Okay, for the report 1 and 2 comprise the same following item. Alright. First, management's description of the service organization system. Second, a written assertion by management of the service organization about whether in all material respect and based on suitable criteria. What type of criteria is it? First, management's description of the service organization system fairly present the service organization system that was designed and implemented as of a specific date. Okay, for the report 2, throughout the specific period. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, and second, the controls related to the control objective stated in management description of the service organization system were suitably designed to achieve those control objectives as of the specific date. But for the report 2, throughout the specific period to achieve those control objectives. There are the difference between report 1 and report 2. I hope you all understand what I am explaining. Okay, then that's all from me. Thank you. I will pass to the learning objective 6.
Okay, my name is Muhammad Faris bin ARRES. I will present about learning objective 6. But first of all, I would like to thank to FAKHRUL HARDI for the explanation for learning objective 5. In learning objective 6, I will describe about special engagement to attest to prospective financial statement. What is prospective financial statement? Prospective financial statement is referred to predicted or expected financial statement in some future period in the income statement, or at a some future period or some future date or in balance sheet. Most of the SPA believe there are significant opportunity or a potential risk for auditor to provide credibility of prospective information. So the auditor need to improve the reliability or the credibility of the information to reduce the information risk. Information risk may be reduced in the same way it is in audit of historical financial statement. The risk of the information risk arise because the actual result obtained in the future may differ significantly from the result predicted in the prospective financial statement. Okay, for now, we will go through more about the prospective financial statement. For the first one is ICPA attestation standard define there is two general type of prospective financial statement. For the first one is the forecast and the next one is projection. What is forecast? Forecast is a prospective financial statement that present an entity expired financial position, result of operation, and their cash flow. For this type of prospective financial statement, lender will ask for this type. Then for the projection, projection is a prospective financial statement that present as an entity financial position, result of operation, and cash flow, given one or more hypothetical assumption. For the forecast, it can be provided to both general and limited user, while for the projection are only restricted to limited user. It is because limited users are in a better position to understand the prospective statement and related the assumption than the other party. For the example, a potential venture capital investor can ask the responsibility party about the hypothetical assumption in the projection, whereas removal user such as reader of a company prospectus. General user may have difficult to interpret the hypothetical assumption without obtaining additional information for the standard prohibit their general use. Okay, let's move to the use of prospective financial statement. prospective financial statement are whether used for the general use or the limited use. For the first one is the general use of prospective financial statement, which is referred to the use of the statement by a person with whom the responsible party is not negotiating directly. For example, in an offering statement of an entity debt or equity interest, because recipients of prospective financial statements distributed for general use are unable to ask the responsible party directly about the presentation. Most of the presentation are useful to them is one that portrays to the best of the responsible party knowledge and belief. Thus, the only financial forecast is appropriate for general use. Okay, then for the limited use of prospective financial statement, it is referred to the use of prospective financial statement by the responsible party alone or by the responsible party and third party with whom the responsible party is negotiating directly. For the example, it includes the use in negotiation for a bank loan, submission to a regulatory agency, and use solely within the entity. The third party recipient of prospective financial statement intended for limited use can ask the question of the responsible party and negotiate terms directly with it. Any type of prospective financial statement that will be useful in the circumstance would normally be appreciated for limited use. Thus, the presentation may be a financial forecast or a financial projection. And now for the last part is the type of engagement. The ICPA has created more specific attestation standard prescribing the following type of engagement for prospective financial statement. The first type of the engagement is an examination of audit or attestation, which is engagement which the CPA obtains certification as to the completeness and reasonable of all the assumption. And for the next engagement is a compilation engagement in which the CPA is primarily involved with the computational accuracy of the statement, not the responsibleness of the assumption. And for the last engagement is an agreed upon procedure, which the CPA and all users of the statement agree on specific limited attestation procedure. Okay, now for the last part of my presentation is the examination of prospective financial statement. There is 4 steps in this prospective financial statement examination, which is the first one is evaluating the preparation of the prospective financial statement. The second one is evaluate the underlying support for assumption. The third one is the International Standard on Assurance Engagement, which is ISAE 300 and 4000. And lastly is issuing an examination report. The CPA is not attesting to the accuracy of the prospective financial statement. To make the evaluation, the CPA needs to become familiar with the client business or industry to identify the significant matter on which the client future results are expected to depend on their key factors. And lastly, to determine that appropriate assumption have been included with the respect of their key factor. Okay, that's all for my part. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ZUHAIRI, and now I would like to explain about the learning objective 7, which is describe on agreement upon procedure engagement. So without wait any due, so let's move. Agreed upon procedure agreement can be explained as the auditor and management or the third-party user are agreed that audit will be limited to a certain specific audit procedure. Moreover, the CPA referred to as a procedure and finding engagement. Now, I want to tell you about two engagement. The first one is engagement under auditing standard, which is deal with the financial statement item. And the next one is the engagement under attestation standard, which is deal with the non-financial statement matters. The agreed upon procedure agreement can be referred in the International Standard on Related Services ISRS 4400.
Hello guys, my name is RAINOL and I'm going to cover Learning Objective 8, which is in chapter 25. So let's go. Okay, so first it describes other audit and limited assurance engagements related to historical financial statements. And the second one is talking about ISA 800, the auditor's report on special purpose audit engagements. So let's move to another slide. Okay, so there is one thing that they call OCBOA, which is stand for Other Comprehensive Basis of Accounting. So there is 4 things inside this OCBA things, which is first, definite set of criteria. Definite. Okay, there is an example for this set of criteria, so which is the price level basis of accounting. So in accounting there is like a price level for it, so that they can, like, you know everything is fair and square. And then the second one is cash or modified cash basis. Cash or modified cash basis. So with cash basis accounting, only cash receipts and disbursements are recorded. Under modified cash basis, the cash basis is followed except for certain items such as fixed assets and depreciation. Sorry for that. Okay, so okay, move to the next one, the next part. Okay, tax basis. Tax basis uses the same measurement rules used for filing tax returns, even though tax rules are not GAAP. Okay, next one is regulatory agency basis. So there is common examples of regulatory agency basis include the uniform system of accounts required of railroads, utilities, and some insurance companies. Move to the next slide. Okay, so there is three specified elements, accounts, or items. There is 3 things that you should remember. So first, auditors are often asked to audit and issue reports on specific aspects of financial statements. And then the second one referred to as reports on a component of financial statements. And lastly, materiality is defined by item audited. Moving to the next part, which is debt compliance letters and similar reports. Okay, so there is 3 things in this part, which is the first one, it described as the engagement and report should be limited to compliance matters the auditor is qualified to evaluate. And the second one is the auditor should provide a debt compliance letter only for a client for whom the auditor has done an audit of the overall financial statements. So auditors may issue reports on debt compliance and similar engagements as separate reports, or by adding a paragraph after the opinion paragraph as part of a report that expresses their opinion on the financial statements. And lastly, the auditor's opinion is in the form of negative assurance, stating that nothing came to the auditor's attention that would lead the auditor to believe there was non-compliance. So, okay, I think that's all from us. Thank you so much and have a nice day, and selamat Hari Raya Maaf Zahir dan Batin. Ciao.